డౌట్ ఏదో ఫార్వర్డ్ చేయమని చెప్పు దీనికి. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me, guys. All of you get my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Yeah. Guys, today onwards we have to attend for 2 sessions, 7 to 8:30, as well as what there 8:30 to 10. Recognize this 2 sessions here we have to attend. 8:30 to 10 o'clock class link was provided to the registered students. If you are not yet registered, please immediately register for it. Already through mail, that new link was submitted to the that means 8:30 class new link was submitted to all the members. Please register immediately if you are not registered. Okay. All right, guys. Just for more details, just you can contact with our admin people. Yeah. Then in the case if you are not yet received mail, those who are already registered, in the case if you are not yet registered or mail registered, just directly you can contact with our admin people, you know already. Directly we can WhatsApp to this number with your transcript or with your then receipt there. Then yeah, just contact to this number, the Bashir Sheikh. Just one time contact with this one. Now that person is available. The person name is what, Nagendra. Directly you can contact with him. Okay, then he will give clarity. Bashir, take this one. Take this number. Directly you can contact with this number. In this number only, my total all related, my classes related information here we have provided to you. Yeah. Yeah, Santosh. Then Santosh, I will give solution for it. Yeah, sure. I'll give solution for it on tomorrow. Just give rewind to me. I'll check it. Then which editor is good in like what their Mac. No, then let me check once. Then I will give that information to you. Don't worry. Okay. As of now, just try to understand the content. Santosh. Yeah, Bashir, to this number. Just you can contact with this number where Nagendra is the respective person. He will be in touch with you regarding that links and everything. Okay, fine. That's nice. All right. Good morning, guys. And what topic here we completed there in the last class? If we observe is steps to prepare first application, part we understood. In the term steps to prepare first application, in that steps to prepare first application, we already completed the total part here. Just one time, if we think about the steps to prepare first application, the total steps, if you understand this, first one is what we completed there. Download and install Java software, download and install Java editor, write Java program, after that save Java file, compile Java file, execute Java program. These are all the steps what you are having in steps to prepare first application. In fact, you have written the exam on this particular content. I think so. Yesterday, the strength is very less. Even already people are very less here, but strength is very less for exam now, right? Don't take exams in a light manner. Why? Because self-evaluation is required. At least I'm giving some exams to you. Try to write that exams properly and try to check where we are and how much you are getting the marks, how many marks get. Every point is important. Every topic is important. If the topics are important, then only that's why because of that reason I'm discussing the topics inside the classroom. So once we are providing some evaluation process without failure, try to attend for it and try to check yourself. Even I'm giving assurance to you. I'm not going to display marks on notice board also. Just key only we are getting there. I think an outside key is available in the notice board. Now try to take that key and try to check that question paper. How many answers you have given there already? Okay. Right, sir. Don't miss that exams. On every topic, I'm planning to conduct exams. Okay. Fine. Leave it. Now the point is next one is like what there. What next one here we are going to understand. After completion of all the steps, now today I'm going to take another new topic. What should be the another new topic today here we are going to take now. And before going to start the content, can you tell me what is the schedule from today? Today onwards, I think we have some scheduling, right? Any idea what schedule here we are going to follow today onwards? 7 to 8:30, we need to attend the class. Then after that, what next one? 8:30 to 10, we need to attend for what there? Object orientation. Whoops topic here we are going to understand. 8:30 to 10, already given the schedule, right? Today onwards, we are going to implement that schedule, right? 7 to 8:30 is one slot. 8:30 to 10 is another slot. After a few days of time, we are going to start with what there? 10 to 11:30 also. Slowly, we are going to understand the schedule. These three things. And December 1st onwards, those who are interested for advanced Java, 11:30 to 1, advanced Java is going to be happen. But meanwhile, when I'm going to start advanced Java classes there, meanwhile, 7 to 8:30 slot is going to be completed. Max 7 to 8:30 slot is going to be continued, maybe few days of time only. Language fundamentals or maybe one or two small topics only. After that, I'll stop these sessions at 7 to 8:30. Then continuously you can come at what time there? 8:30 to 10, 10 to 11:30. These two slots, and 11:30 to 1 for advanced Java slot. Recognize it. What I'm telling you now. Okay. All right. Now let's move on to the points here. Now today, the topic is what? Language fundamentals. Today's topic is what? Language fundamentals. Language fundamentals. Right. Now, language fundamentals is a topic today. In the next few days of time, we are going to understand this language fundamentals only. Try to understand it clearly. First of all, I want to ask one small question to you. Now try to answer for this question. All of you observe carefully. For example, I want to construct a building. I want to construct a building. To construct a building, what are the various resources I require? Some resources here I require. Tell me what are the various resources we require now. Say for example, sand, water, land, proper foundation, iron, bricks, hmm, manpower, and so on and so on and so on. Some resources here we require. Good. My next question is, out of all these resources, which resources are human created resources and which resources are natural resources? Now tell me. Say for example, if we take sand, sand is what? Natural resource. Observe carefully. Sand is what? The natural resource. Water, natural resource. Cement, human created. Bricks, human created. Understand it clearly. Of course, even though these bricks and bricks and cement human created, but their roots are natural resources only. They are generated from what? Their natural resource only, but that's a different story. So water is what? Their natural resource. Sorry, water is what? Their natural resource. So finally, what is the point I'm telling there? Some resources are created by the human. Some other resources are not possible for the human to create. Some other resources must be taken from nature only. So they are called as what? Natural resources. Got it or not? Similarly, to prepare an application, to create an application, understand it? To create an application, we require so many resources. Some of the resources are created by the developers, but some of the resources are not possible for a developer to create. Some other resources must be provided by the nature, in outside nature, in the sense programming languages only. Some resources must be provided by the programming languages only. That resources are not created by the developers. They're not possible for the developers to create. They must be provided by the programming languages only. In this overall context, the features are the resources are the building blocks which are provided by the programming languages to prepare applications are called language fundamentals. Are called as what? Their language fundamentals. In other words, building blocks. In other words, we may call it as what? Their building blocks. That's it. That's a simple point here I'm telling there. Now the point is what? To prepare any Java application, directly I'm telling that any Java application, to prepare any Java application, some resources are provided by the developers and some other resources provided by the programming languages by default. Some other resources provided by the programming languages by default. Here the resources which are provided by the programming languages and which are not possible for the developers to create. Those resources are called building blocks of the applications, or building blocks of the applications or programming languages. Building blocks of the programming languages. Here, these building blocks are called language fundamentals. That's it. Guys, all of you are understanding the point what I'm telling you. Yeah, the simple point is what there all together. Whatever the explanation I've given there, that's okay, fine. But the point is what there, some fundamental units we require to prepare the applications which are not possible for the developers to create, which must be provided by the programming languages only. That fundamental units are called as what their language fundamentals. Simple point. Here we have to understand clearly. But what are the various language fundamentals which are provided by the Programming language, Java programming language. What language fundamentals which are provided by the Java programming language, that we have to understand clearly. Okay, right. So now let's understand the point clearly. Everybody, observe carefully. To prepare Java applications, Java has provided the following building blocks. The following building blocks. That means the following language fundamentals. What are the various language fundamentals which are provided by Java? First one is tokens. Recognize this. The first one is what there? Tokens. Very first one is tokens. Next one is after that data types. Second one is what there? Data types. Next one is after these data types, another one is typecasting. Typecasting is a process, of course, but it is also a part of like what are the basics, fundamentals. Typecasting. After this typecasting, now here we are going to understand like what are there? Java statements. Java statements. After these Java statements, next one is what there? Arrays. These are the various topics which are available clearly. Come again. What exactly the points here we are understanding there? First one is what there? Tokens. Next one is what there? Data types. Next one is what there? Typecasting. Next one is what there? Java statements. And last one is what there? Arrays. These are the building blocks which are provided by the Java programming language to prepare Java applications. Understand it now? Out of all these things, developer is not going to create anything. Developers are going to use them, but they are not defining them. Are getting my point or not? But some features are prepared by the developers that we are going to understand in the future. But as of now, to prepare Java programming or to prepare any Java application, some fundamental units are provided by Java programming language. That fundamental units are what there? These are the basic fundamental units. And moreover, some of the fundamental units only I specified here as per our basics now. But in the future, we are going to see some other fundamental units also. But the times goes on, we are going to understand all the remaining points here. But as of now, these are the various fundamental units what you are having clearly. All right, so that's okay, fine. Now we are going to start with one by one clearly. First of all, let us start with the tokens. Let us start with the tokens. Watch exactly the meaning of tokens. What is the meaning of tokens? What you are understanding about these tokens? Let's see this one. What is this token actually? Before going to understand the tokens, I would like to give one more small definition. Understand the definition. That is like what there? Lexeme. Lexeme. First you have to understand lexeme. After that you are going to understand what? A token. See this now? An individual logical unit in a Java programming. An individual logical unit in Java programming is called a lexeme. I'll give through example. I will show this point now. An individual logical unit in Java programming is called a lexeme. Next one. The collection of lexemes under a group. The collection of lexemes under a category, under a particular group is called, that group is called a token. That group is called a token. Observe carefully, the group name is representing what there? A token. Is it? Now example, let's see this one. Then only we are going to understand it clearly. So for example, if we take an expression int a is equal to b plus c star d semicolon. If I put this expression here, for example, this is a Java expression. Of course, we can take it as C or C plus or Java, whatever it may be. In everywhere, we can use this expression. If it is an expression, I provided this expression here. Now inside this expression, what are the various logical units are available now? Tell me. Individual logical units are available. Now just observe carefully. Int is one logical individual unit. A is equal to B plus C star D semicolon. Everyone, each and everyone is an individual logical unit. So these are overall called lexemes. These are called as what? They're lexemes. Overall, how many number of lexemes are available here? We can understand 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Overall 9 lexemes. Overall what? There 9 lexemes here we are having there. But how many number of tokens are available? Actually, if you observe this clearly, tokens here, I'm going to provide some categorizations. For example, int is available. What is this int actually? It's a data type. Am I right? Now in this expression, how many data types are available? Observe carefully. Only one data type. What is that? No, int only the data type. No other data type is available. So data type, this is one thing. Next one is A comma, B comma, C comma, T. All these are like what there? Another type, another category. They are like what there? What we are able to understand? Variables. These are like what there? Variables. Observe carefully. After this, after completion of this one, next one is equal, comma, plus, comma, star. Now these are available. What are all these actually? These are the operators. Am I right or not? These are all like what they're operators. Observe carefully. Next one is what? After these operators, another one is what there? Semicolon. The semicolon is also be called as a terminator, but its category is called as like what there? Special symbols. Its category is what there? Special symbols. That's it. Everything is covered or not? You can understand it clearly. Data type is covered. A, B, C, D. Variables we covered. Equal plus star we covered here. These are the operators. Semicolon. Semicolon is come under what there? Special symbols. But it's a separate name is available for the semicolon. That separate name is what there? Terminator. Now tell me, overall, how many types of tokens are available here? If you understand this clearly. So here overall, if you observe this point clearly, overall 4 types of tokens. 4 types of tokens here we are getting clearly. 4 types of tokens. But in fact, what I'm telling there, every lexeme is individually a token. Every lexeme is come under what there? A token. But groups of tokens, if you observe this, 4 types of tokens here we are getting clearly. Got my point or not? How many types of tokens are available? 4 types of tokens. Try to recognize this point clearly. Data types, variables, operators, terminator, or special symbol. These are the various points here we understood clearly now. Right, sir. First of all, now check it. What topics here we are discussing there? Today the topic is what? Language fundamentals. What is the meaning of this language fundamentals? No, the building blocks of any programming language are called as what? Language fundamentals. That building blocks must be provided by whom? Programming languages, not by the developer. Some features are prepared by the developer, but some other features are not possible for the developers to prepare. That features must be prepared by the programming languages only. So they are nothing but what their language fundamentals. To prepare Java applications, what language fundamentals are provided by the Java programming language? If you understand it, these are the 5 language fundamentals which are provided by the Java programming language. What are these language fundamentals? No, tokens, data types, typecasting, Java statements. Then what next one here? Arrays. Where we started with what their tokens. What is a token actually? Is an individual logical unit in Java programming. Is called a lexeme. The collection of lexemes under a group, under a particular group, the collection of lexemes under a particular group is called a token. All right, sir. Now, int a is equal to b plus c star d semicolon that we provided. So where lexemes are 9 number of lexemes here we understood, then tokens here for 4 types of tokens here we identified clearly. Leave this one here. Totally here we understood this punch here. After this, after completion of this punch here, to prepare Java applications. Observe carefully. To prepare Java applications, Java has provided the following tokens. What are the various tokens here we are going to use in our Java applications? First one, number 1, Observe carefully. Identifiers. Number 2, literals, keywords or reserved words. Keywords or reserved words. Then after that, operators. Overall, 4. To prepare Java applications, Java has provided the following tokens. What are the various tokens here we are getting there? Identifiers, literals, keywords or reserved words, operators. These are overall the tokens which are provided by Java programming language. All right, sir. Of course, now special symbols also we can include here, but I will discuss about the special symbols in the continuous mode. Sorry. Okay, fine. Now move on to the identifiers part. Let's start with what their identifiers. Identifiers. What exactly the meaning of identifier? Simple example. All of you observe carefully. For example, you're all sitting here in front of me. For example, you're all sitting here in front of me. I want to call each and every person individually. I want to access each and every person individually. So how can I access that each and every person individually? Can I use the terms like what? Can I use the words like a red shirt or green shirt or a pale person or tall person? Can I use like this? That's another way. So what I require? If I want to call individually each and every person, what I require? Definitely, I need your identity or not. With your identity only, how to access you or not. So what is your identity? What is your identity? Of course, Durgasoft has given some admission number for every person there. Can I use that admission number? In fact, you are not even remember that admission number, right? Even you don't know about that admission number. Only it's a formality, but that's not the right way. Then still I'm not thinking about it. If I use that admission number like what there, what is going to be happen? If you go to might be some old movies there in the police station, that inspector will call with the constables like a 201, 305 like this here. It's like that, not like this. Think about it. So in a professional way, if I want to use your identity, what I have to use there? You have your own identity. What is that identity? Your name. Get my point or not? Your name. So every person here who are sitting here inside this class, no, everybody they must have your identity, their identity. By using that identity only, I need to call. That identity is what there a name. That's my point. Similarly, in Java applications, we are going to provide so many elements. We are going to write more and more number of elements. Number of variables we are going to write, number of methods we are going to write, number of classes we are going to write, number of interfaces we are going to write. So many elements we are going to write as per the requirement. But writing element is not sufficient. We have to recognize them individually and we have to access them individually. When we write some element there, writing element is not sufficient in Java programming. We have to identify it and we have to access it as per the requirement here. But if you want to recognize that element individually and if you want to access that element individually, what is required? Definitely we need identity of that particular element or not. Identity of that particular element is required or not. But if you want to get identity of that particular element, we have to provide identity for that particular element or not at the time of declaration. At the time of declaration, we need to provide identity for that particular element or not. Right, exactly. That identity we are going to provide. That identity we are going to provide that particular element in the form of its a name. Identity we are going to provide for that particular element in the form of its a name. In which way we are having your names? In which way you are having your names? In the same way, for every element in Java programming, we need to provide some identity. That identity we are going to provide in the form of its a name. So I'll forget my point or not. In the form of its what there? A name. Here, a name for each and every programming element is called an identifier. The name which we are providing for each and every element is called as what there is an identifier. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? What is the point here I'm telling you? Know the name which we provided for each and every element is called as what there is an identifier. That's it, not more than that. All right, now I want to give a definition for identifier. Identifier is a name assigned to the programming elements like variables, methods, classes, interfaces, enums, and so on and so on and so on. So many programming elements. Identifier is a name assigned to the programming elements like variables, methods, classes, interfaces, enums, and so on in order to recognize them and in order to access them in the Java applications. Everybody understand these points clearly? Identifier is a name assigned to the programming elements like variables, methods, classes, interfaces, enums, and so on in order to recognize them and in order to access them in the Java applications. In order to recognize and access them in the Java applications. That's it. All right, sir. This is exactly the meaning of what their identifiers. That's okay, fine. Now I'm giving one question to you. I'm giving one question and try to answer for it. Try to understand it. All right, sir. Everybody try to answer for it. All of you are having your names. They had your names. That unique name we are having. Forget about that nicknames or pet names. It's okay, different story. You must have your name. Do you know what is the history behind your name? Definitely, every name has some history. Do you aware about it? Okay, leave it. At least do you know how you got that name? How you got that name? At least are you aware about it? There is a story behind that. Let me explain. When you born, your parents are very happy. Of course, still your parents are very happy. Don't worry for it. Okay. When you born, immediately what your parents, especially father, what he able to do there, able to list out date and time of your birth. Clear. Then after that, what next one there? Maybe after 21 days or maybe 45th days or some might be some occasion they are going to conduct the naming ceremony or something else. They used to give some event there. On that particular day, your parents wants to give a particular name. That means they want to give a particular identity for you. But of course, this convention is going to be changed from region to region or language might be country to country, but common in locality. I'm telling them. How your parents are going to give that name to you on that particular naming ceremony, they have to give a particular name, particular identity for you. But how they are giving that identity or name, point is very clear. When you born, when they have taken your date of birth and time of birth, immediately they'll go to some temple or masjid or maybe church, whatever it may be. They'll go for some place there. Their pandits are available, or church faster, or maybe some masjid might be respective person, right? That pandits are available. So your parents will go there, then your parents will ask that pandit. So my baby was born on this particular date and particular time. Can you suggest some name? Then immediately what that pandit is doing, no, that pandit is not giving any name on floor directly. He will do some calculation on air. You know already that, right? Some numerically, astrologically, or maybe some kind of sastras, or maybe something he is to check. After checking all the things, he is to give some suggestion there. Your baby name must be started with a K. Your baby name must be started with a S. Your baby name must be started with something, some letter. He used to give some suggestions. Then immediately what our parents are doing, they have taken that suggestion. They remember that starting letter, maybe S or K or something else. No. Then when they come back to their home, they will open the system or laptop now. They will open the Google. There they are searching good name started with S. A good name started with K. Like this they are searching now. Finally, they identified some names there. First 5 names they'll identify good names. Then they'll have some discussion with the family members, and finally they are going to finalize the name. One name they are going to finalize. On that particular naming ceremony day, they are going to give that particular name. Means that to get your identity, some rules and regulations are going on or not. Your name is not directly by default. Your name was provided by Pandits with some rules and regulations. As per the rules and regulations only, your names are coming. Just think about it. Every name is having a particular meaning. Even though you're not aware about it, no, try to check in Google one time. Definitely that name is having some meaning internally. I get my point here now. So as per rules and regulations only, you're having your identity. Similarly, in Java programming, if you want to provide identities for each and every programming element, we must follow a set of rules and regulations. As per the rules and regulations only, we have to follow, we have to provide identities for each and every element. There we have to follow a set of rules and regulations only. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? In Java also, if you want to provide a name for a particular element, we must use a set of rules and regulations. What are the various rules and regulations we have to follow to provide identities or identifiers in Java applications? I'll list out all the rules and regulations get clearly. To provide identifiers to the programming elements, we have to use the following rules and regulations. What are the various rules and regulations here we have to follow? Understand it clearly. Point number 1. All Java identifiers must not start with a number. All Java identifiers must not start with a number. Okay. Java identifiers may start with an alphabet, comma, underscore symbol, comma, dollar symbol. Yes, no problem. In Java, identifiers may start with the alphabet, underscore symbol, or dollar symbol, but not start with what? A number. Okay, but we can include the numbers. We can include the numbers in the middle of the identifiers. We can include the numbers in the middle of the identifiers, or else maybe I want to give a standard punch. But the subsequent symbols may be a number, underscore symbol, comma, dollar symbol. Subsequent symbols may be a number, an alphabet, or an alphabet, and so on. Anything, we can understand it clearly. That means the point what I'm telling there, identifiers must not be started with a number. It may start with an alphabet or underscore symbol, dollar symbol. But in the middle of the identifier, we can use numbers, underscore symbols, alphabets, dollar symbols. Numbers we can use in the middle of the numbers. No problem. Middle of the identifiers. No issues for it. Let's see some examples I'm providing there. By that you are able to understand it clearly. Int a is equal to, for example, I'm telling to you, ENO is equal to 111. Int 7 ENO is equal to 777. Int or maybe string EMP9 ID is equal to I999. Something else here I provided here. Next one is string underscore ename is equal to Durga. Next one is after that float dollar ESL is equal to 25,000.0 F. Then after that, string EMP underscore ADDR is equal to Hyderabad. Next one is float salin dollar is equal to 50,000.0 F. Okay, then after this, like this here, we can use that another one here. String EMP9 ID is equal to, I can provide like what there, I-999. Like this here, we are able to provide this. Now tell me, out of all these things, which things are valid and which things are invalid, that we are going to understand. First of all of you observe carefully. First one is what there. Now understand this clearly. Do you have any problem with this declaration? Int ny is equal to 111. It's a fair or not? It's a fair declaration. So it is a valid. Now come for this one. What about this one, Kirno? Variable. Now this is an identifier. Please remember this. ENY is an identifier. Alright, this is an identifier. Now this identifier is started with number or not? But our rule is what? Identifiers must not be started with what there? A number. So now it's valid or invalid? No. Definitely it is what there? Invalid. This is what there? Invalid. Next one is after that. EMP9 ID. 9 number we provided. I think already we have taken it, right? Okay, leave this one. Not required. Yeah. Here we provided 9 where we provided this 9 in the middle inside this identifier. So it's valid, no problem. But starting symbol must not be a number. So this is like what they're valid. Next one is string underscore ename is equal to Durga. String underscore ename is equal to Durga. So identifiers may start with what? Underscore symbols, no problem. So this is what they're valid. This is what they're valid. Next one is float dollar ESAL. Identifier may start with what? May start with a dollar or not? Has started with what they're dollar. So this is like what they're valid. No issues for it. String EMP underscore ADDR. That means that underscore we provide in the middle, right? It's valid. Even starting symbol is possible. So in the middle also we can use it. Now this is like what they're valid. Next one is what? Now tell me float float salin dollar. The dollar we provide in the middle of the identifier as the last one. Still it is valid here. No issues for it. That's it. So these are about like what they are valid and invalid cases here. We are getting clearly. Well, if you're following these points or not. So they are the simple rules and regulations only. What is the rule number one here we provided here? No. Rule number one is what there. All Java identifiers must not start with a number. Java identifiers may start with an alphabet, underscore symbol, dollar symbol, but the subsequent symbols may be a number, underscore symbol, dollar symbol, and alphabet. The remaining, except the starting symbol, the remaining symbols may be anything that we can identify clearly. That's it. Getting clarity on this point here. Please remember this. In general, most of the Java developers are getting more number of errors due to the lack of this fundamental information only. Due to the lack of this awareness only, most of the people are getting more number of errors. 70% of the errors are generated because of these concepts only, due to the lack of this awareness only. So try to put more concentration. They are the fun. That's why we call it as what? Basics, fundamentals of the Java. If you're strong in fundamentals, 70% of the errors we can resolve. But only the problem is what there? People are not aware about these fundamentals. They're neglecting these fundamentals. When these problems are coming in the programming, due to the lack of that knowledge, they're going to waste days and days of time. Understand it? So try to follow these points clearly. This is rule number one. Now coming to the rule number two. Identifiers must not allow spaces in the middle. This is a basic mistake what people are doing there in general. Every user, every developer, they used to do this type of mistakes in general. Why? Because I'll give some clarity. We are completely habituated with the English language. In English language, what you are doing there? For example, if I asked you write employee number in English, then in general, what people are going to write now? Employee number. They're going to write like this. Am I right or not? Here what we provided here, no space. As per the English, there is a rule, small rule. Maintain some space between the words. That is for the sake of our readability. That English has given that rule. But remember it, now we are in Java programming language. Java language we are using, not English language. Get my point or not? So in Java, rules and regulations must be different or not? What is the difference in the Java when compared with English? No, in between the identifiers must not provide any space. Get my point or not? If you want to write this is an identifier, you should not use space. No, directly we have to write like this. If you put space here, no, then Java is thinking these two are two elements. But if we are not providing space here, now Java is thinking it is what there one identity. Get my point or not? So this is a blunder mistake what people are doing in general. So that's why the very second rule is like what there Java identifiers must not allow spaces in the middle. Examples I'm telling you, observe carefully. Say for example, I want to take like what there integer EMP NO is equal to 111. That's nice. Integer EMP space NO is equal to 111. There is a lot of difference between these two. Then in the second case, definitely we are going to get what there an error. Observe carefully. For example, now here what we are providing there for name of some AAA like this here we call this is a method actually. Or as methods we'll discuss there in the form of variables and I'm going to take it now. Alright, so now here what I need to provide here string say for example emp addr is equal to hyderabad like this here we have taken string emp space addr is equal to hyderabad. If you provide this there here we are able to get some error. Now tell me observe carefully, the very first one is like what there valid, no problem here with respect to the spaces. And the second one is what you are understanding, the second one here, no, the second one is what there invalid. The second one is what there invalid. The first one here, that means what is this first one actually? All right, emp addr is equal to Hyderabad. Emp addr is equal to Hyderabad. Now this is like what there valid. Now this one, another one is like what there invalid. Why it is invalid here? I can understand why it is invalid here. Space is what there we provided here. So these are the reasons why. That another rule we are having in the case of these identifiers like what? Identifiers must not allow spaces in the middle. Identifiers must not allow spaces in the middle. This is exactly the point here we have to understand clearly. Let's do this one. Two rules and regulations here we complete up to now. What are the two rules and regulations here we completed here? First one is what there? Identifiers must not start with a number. Identifiers may start with an alphabet, underscore symbol, dollar symbol, but the subsequent symbols may be a number, maybe underscore symbol, maybe dollar symbol, maybe alphabet. Right. Second rule is what there? Identifiers must not allow spaces in the middle. Right, sir. Rule number 3. This is somewhat technical rule. More technical content is going to be happen. Try to put more concentration. I'll explain to you clearly. All of you okay, no? Right, sir. Now try to understand this point clearly. Identifiers must not be duplicated in the same scope, but identifiers may be duplicated in two different scopes. Right, sir. Read out this. What is the point here I said to you? Identifiers must not be duplicated in the same scope. Identifiers may be duplicated in two different scopes. First of all, understand this. In Java, there are 4 types of scopes, you know already, like public, protected, default, and private. But I am not talking about that scopes. That scopes are different. I'm not thinking about them. But here, in the fundamentals, what are the scopes here I'm talking there? 2 types of scopes only. What are the 2 types of scopes? No, local and class level. Local and class level. Of course, in C and C++, you might be aware about it. Local scope and global scope. Local and global. Simple speaking, local variables and global variables, you might be thought. But in Java, there is no concept like a global. In Java, there is no concept like what there global. Global, global variables. This kind of terms are not available in Java. Strictly restricted. In Java, in place of global, we can use the word class level. We can use the word is what there? Class level. Sir, got or not? Fine. In Java, there are two types of scopes. One is a local scope, another one is what there? Class level scope. Well, let me list out these points also. In Java, there are two types of scopes. Number one, local scope. What is the meaning of this local scope? Here itself I am confirming that. If we declare any variable inside a method or in a block, inside a method or in a block, then that variable is having the scope up to the respective method only, up to the respective method only, up to the respective method or block only. Okay, it is not having scope in outside of the respective method, outside of the respective method or block. If we want to access it, we must access within the same method only. It's not having scope in outside of that method or outside of that block. Here the scope of the variable is local. Here the scope of the variable is what there? Local. Don't worry. In a programming way, I'm going to show that point also clearly. This is local scope. We can understand it. Next one is what there? Global scope. Not global scope, class level. What is this class level scope actually? Observe carefully. If we declare any variable inside a method or inside a block, then that variable is having local scope. Right or not? Now, if we declare any variable, variable outside of the methods and inside the class. Understand my point here? Outside of the methods and inside the class. Then that variable will have the class level scope. Class level scope. Come again. What is the class level scope? No. If we declare a variable outside of the methods and what next one? Inside the classes. Outside of the method and inside the classes. Then that variable will have what scope there? Class level scope. In the class level scope, we can access the variable throughout the class. That is in all the methods. If any variable in the class level scope, we can access the variable throughout the class. That is in all the methods. Understand my point? All right. Now, okay. I want to show a simple example by that you are able to understand it clearly. For example, I want to take a class A. Class A. Observe carefully. Inside this class A, I declared int I is equal to 10. Void M1 method. This is one method. At the same time, void M2 method. Now inside this M1 method, I declared int j is equal to 20. Inside this M2 method, I'll declare int k is equal to 30. Is it? Now observe carefully. Class K int I is equal to 10, void M1 method into J is equal to 20, void M2 method into K is equal to 30. Sir, got it or not? Now here, out of overall here, three variables I declared. Out of these three variables, which variables are class level variables and which variables are local variables? Now tell me. The variable which we declared inside a method, that is local variable. The variable which we declared outside of the method, inside the class, that is what their class level. Now I variable is what? Class level variable. J variable is what? K variable is what? Alright. Now I said to you already, we can access the class level variables in all the methods of the class. Throughout the class, we can access it in all methods now. So for example, I want to access here system.out.println of J is possible. Am I right or not? We can access here. At the same time, system.out.println of I. Will you get any error? In both the cases, J we can access inside this M1 method. I also we can access inside the M1 method. Why? Because I is a class level variable and J is a local variable inside the same method. Okay, we are not getting any problem. But remember carefully, system.out.println of, can I use K here? Now here we are going to get what their error. Why we are getting error here in this case? No. K is a variable that was defined in which class? No. Which method? No. M2 method. K is a method. K is a variable which was defined in which method? No. M2 method. So K variable is local to M2. So it is not having scope in outside of the M2. But we are trying to access it in which method? M1 method. So that's why we are getting what there? An error. Please remember this point clearly. Alright, so next one is after that. Coming to this M2 method. Inside this M2 method, what value here we are getting there? System dot out dot println of K. I want to access. Any problem here? No problem. Why? Because K variable is local to what? Local to M2 method. So directly we can access it. It's a having scope. No problem. System dot out dot println of I variable I want to use. I variable is what variable? Class level variable. So class level variable we can access in any method. In any function or in any method we can access class level variable. It is not having any like what are the restrictions about the class level variables. But now system.out.println of J. Can I use J here? Can I use J here? No, not possible to access J here. Why? Because J variable is a local variable to watch M1 method. J variable is what there? Local variable to watch M1 method. We are unable to access that J here. Why? Because J variable is defined in M1 method. It's not, it's local to M1. It's not local to M2. So here we are unable to access what there? J variable. So here we are getting like what there? Error here we are getting. Got it, all of you know? What is local variable and what is class level variable? What is the scope of the local variable and what is the scope of the class level variable? All of you are getting it or not? Local variable is restricted up to the respective method, but class level variable is available throughout the class here in all methods. No, that is the story here. What we are getting clearly. Leave it. But actual our point is what? Why I'm discussing actually this point here. Our actual point is what they now check this one. What is our actual point? Our required point is what? Identifiers must not be duplicated within the same scope. Identifiers may be duplicated in two different scopes. But first of all, without having awareness on scopes now, we are unable to understand this point. That's why first I have given what exactly the meaning of the scopes. Now tell me, how many types of scopes are available in Java? Two types. What are the two types of scopes now? Local and class level. What is local scope now? If we declare a variable inside a method, then that variable is having local scope. It is possible to access that variable within that method only. Not possible to access that method in outside of that particular method. Next one is, what is the class level scope now? If we declare any variable outside of the methods and inside the class and outside of the methods, then that variable will have class level scope. In this class level scope, we can access the variables throughout the class. That is in all the methods. All right, sir. Example I shown. What is class level variable? What is local variable? What is the scope of accessing this class level variables? What is the scope of accessing local variables? That all the points here we understood. Now coming to the point here, another point here I'm telling to you. Now here I'm going to show our actual identifiers related point now. Class A. Again here I'm going to take what there? Class A. Inside this class A, void M1 method. Okay, that's enough. Void M1 method. For example, int I is equal to 10. In this statement, int I is equal to 10. What is identifier here? Now tell me. Which element is identifier now? I. I is what there? An identifier. Now, I variable is at which level? Class level or at local? Class level. I variable is what there? Class level. In the same class level. Okay, fine. Observe carefully. Int j is equal to 20. Now j variable is what there? Local variable. Okay. In the class level, already I variable is declared. Float I is equal to 22.22f. If I want to provide this, here we are able to get an error. Why? Already I variable is declared with what type? No, integer. But the same I variable we are trying to declare with what there? Float. Means that we are trying to duplicate the identifier. We are trying to duplicate the identifier within the same scope. But duplicating identifier within the same scope is a problem. That we must not to do. Sir, all get my point or not? In two different scopes, we can duplicate it, no problem. But within the same scope, we should not duplicate. Say, for example, what I'm telling to you here, for example, if I use the name like what there, Krishna, for example, inside the same class, two members are having the same name, Krishna. There's a confusion. Understand my point here? But in two different classrooms, two different persons' names are what? Krishna. Here, no confusion. Get my point or not? Similarly, here also, what is going to be happen within the same scope? Identifiers must not be duplicated. For example, if it is allowed, int I is equal to 10, float I is equal to 22.22. If I access I, then which value has to come? Is the 10 value or 22.22f? Which value here we are going to get? It's basically confusion or not? It's a confusion, you know. So because of that reason here, what I'm telling you, identifiers must not be duplicated within the same scope. That's why here we are getting what there? Error here we are getting. Okay, fine. But we can duplicate it into different scopes. For example, now here we can provide asterisk like what there? Longer I is equal to 30. Yes, we can use it. Now, inside this, for example, inside this system.out.println of I, if I access now, directly I'm able to get the local variable value 30. First priority is given for local variable only. If it is not available with the name, then it will check at what their class level. Understand my point, you know? So at local I is available or not? Yes, it is available here. But don't ask to me immediately, sir, if local variable I is available, class level also I is available. How can I access it now? There some Java concepts here we require. There we require this keyword. By using this keyword, we can access the class level variable over the local variable. That's a different story, not required immediately. Okay, fine. Now understand it clearly. I variable is initially declared at class level. That is not possible to duplicate at same class level. That is possible to duplicate at which level here now? Local. That means in two different scopes we can duplicate it. For example, int j is equal to int j is equal to 30. Here I have written. Now, can I write double j is equal to 33.333 d. D stands for double value here. Can I write like this? Already j variable is declared with what? Integer. In the same scope, I'm trying to redeclare the same j variable with a different type. Is it possible? Is it possible? No, it is not possible here. Within the same scope, it is not possible. Now here we are able to get some error or not? Then definitely here we are able to get what their error. But can I declare here short j is equal to 50? Can I declare here? Now j variable is declared at what level? Local. At local here j variable is declared. In the same scope, if you want to redeclare the j variable with a different type or same type, whatever it may be, error we are getting. But is it possible to declare the same j variable at class level? Yes, of course, here we can declare that, but we are not going to get any compilation error. Got it or not? Fine. For example, inside this method, if I provide system.out.println of j, if we provide like this, system.out.println of j, if we provide like this, now you only tell me what output here we are able to get now. If we provide here I, for example, what output here we are able to get here? 30 only in this case. If I access this one, what output here we are able to get now? J variable, what is the local variable value j? That is 20. Now here we are able to get what value here? No, 20 is the value here we are getting. See, one more point I'm telling there. When we have same variables at local and class level, when we access that variable inside a method, first priority will be given for the local variables. If it is not available at local, then Java will search for it at which level? No, class level. Java is giving highest priority for the local. First priority is given for what there? Local. If that variable is not available at local, then only it will access that which level there? Class level. The default highest priority is given for what there? Local variables only. That's why when we access I variable, 30 value we are getting. When we access J variable, then automatically here we are able to get what the 20 value. But still, if you want to, still there is a path to access. Still there is a path to access what their class level variables, even though the same names are available for local variables. Even though the same names are available for local variables, but still we can access class level variables. To access class level variables over the local variables, there we have to use this keyword. What keyword here we have to use there? This keyword. Okay, that concept we are going to understand in object orientation. No need to think much about this content clearly. Is that all of you are getting clarity or not? So now tell me, this is about third rule, rule number 3. Here we understood clearly. Fine. Now tell me, today what exactly the content we discussed here up to now? Up to now, what content here we discussed here? What topic here I started with you? Language fundamentals. The building blocks which are provided by Java programming language are called as what they're language fundamentals. What are the various language fundamentals we are having now? Tokens, data types, typecasting, Java statements, and arrays. Tokens we started. What is a lexeme? An individual logical unit in Java programming is called a lexeme. What is a token? The collection of tokens under a particular group is called token. Alright, an example here I've given it. A is equal to B plus C star D semicolon. 9 lexemes are available, 4 types of tokens are available. To prepare Java applications, how many tokens? What are the various tokens are available there? Identifiers, literals, keywords or result words, operators. Identifier, what is an identifier? Identifier is a name assigned to the programming elements like variables, methods, classes, and so on and so on and so on. To provide identifiers in Java, there are some rules and regulations now. What is the first rule here we provided here? Identifiers must not start with a number. Identifiers may start with an alphabet, underscore symbol, dollar symbol, but the subsequent symbols may be a number, an alphabet, underscore symbol, dollar symbol. Examples are given. Identifiers must not allow spaces in the middle. Spaces are not possible inside the identifiers. Examples are given. Another point I've given there, identifiers must not be duplicated within the same scope, but identifiers may be duplicated in two different scopes. First of all, I've given what are the various scopes are available in Java. After that, the related punch. What is the meaning of local scope? What is the meaning of class level scope? After that, the related. Why we are going to get error when we duplicate within the same scope, and when we are not going to get error when we duplicate in two different scopes. The related examples point of view here are given. The total content here. That's enough. This is somewhat information, but still rules and regulations are not yet completed. Rules and regulations for identifiers only three rules and regulations only I discussed here, but a few more rules and regulations are remaining here. That remaining rules and regulations here I'll discuss with you on tomorrow. That's it. Almost around the time is 8:30, near to 8:30. So I want to stop this class here 7 to 8:30 slots. Then remaining content I will discuss with you on tomorrow in language fundamentals. Today, right, within few minutes of time I'll start 8:30 class. You have to sit in the same classroom there. Just meanwhile take 5 to 10 minutes break and come back. Then I will start the 8:30 class. Today that important topic is what there. I'm going to start object orientation. That very, very important topic. I'm going to start object orientation without failure. Try to attend for that object orientation topic. I set you already. Today onwards, 2 slots here we have to attend. After some days of time, 7 to 8:30 class is going to be over. By that I will stop it. 8:30 to 10 we are going to continue the content here. After a few days of time, I'll start our sessions at what time here? 8:30 to 10, as well as what there? 10 to 11:30. What the classes here I'm going to take. Right. December 1st onwards, we must attend for what there? December 1st onwards, advanced Java at what time here? 11:30. Your schedule will be fixed, very much fixed. Okay, at 10 to 11:30 in the future, when I complete this core Java, then I'm going to start with what their frameworks, like a Spring framework, Spring Boot microservices like this. 10 to 11:30, 11:31. In these two timings, no remaining content of the full stack Java related to Java, I'm going to be completed here. Right, sir? So anyway, take 10 minutes break and come back. I'll start object orientation clearly. Thank you. Yes, guys. Guys, no. Then for offline students, you have to come to the offline only. Why? Because the private links are coming there, so not possible to attend in online. Private that offline students must come to the offline only. Why? Because private links are going to be happen 8:30 to 10. Right. Then already that link was shared to all the members there, those who are registered for the courses. No, okay, 8:30 to 10. Guys, try to attend for it. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Within a few minutes, I'll start 8:30 to 10. Thank you, guys.